Hello everyone, I'm Pragya Sugandha, Associate Director, Market Development for Digital Business Services at Happiest Minds. Today we are here with Rajiv Shah. He is the CEO of Digital Business Services at Happiest Minds and also the Executive Board member. We are going to talk about our DEI initiative at Happiest Minds, which includes diversity, inclusion and equity. So Rajiv, what does DEI mean to you?
To me, I think if I look at diversity, it's really the range of traits and characteristics that make us unique. Equity means everybody has a sense of belonging and they are valued. And inclusion to me is all people are valued and encouraged in the organization. So it's all about treating the individuals as individuals, at the same time incorporating that uniqueness that they bring to the organization. And how can we really value their decisions or their thought process.
As a leader, how can you ensure that organizations foster a truly inclusive environment from the diversity, equity and inclusiveness perspective?
I think to me, organizations need to have a clarity on what they plan to achieve and how they plan to achieve. As a leader, one needs to influence the work environment, influence the processes, influence the individuals, influence the mindset that are required for us to be an inclusive organization. It should be supported by a strong set of communication. Don't just talk. I think there is a difference between talking and communicating. And talking sometimes comes as a email or a level of some charts. At the end of the day, I think it requires a strong amount of communication across the organization in every forum, every meeting, or every set of discussion. Make it part of the agenda. And I think it's not just reviewing the numbers, but really looking at what are we doing differently and how are we really valuing the individuals and how are we becoming an inclusive organization. Make it visible in the organization and promote the diversity, inclusiveness, equity, and make it visible in the organization. And there are invisible elements as well that how person is performing, how person is doing their jobs, value their inputs, and sometimes outside life as well. So there are invisible elements that need to be incorporated. And at the end of the day, it's really about fostering a culture of belonging. And as soon as you give the individuals a sense of belonging, and really value them as individuals, I think that I as a leader, my job is to provide the environment for everybody to be successful. And they bring their own set of unique traits, unique thought process, unique characteristics. And if I as a leader can create an environment for them to be successful by having a diverse workforce which believes in inclusivity and have the right set of equity, I think we'll get there.
So Rajiv, how can we address unconscious bias in the workplace and ensure a fair and equitable treatment of all our employees?
Well, first and foremost, I think we don't need to be judgmental. Right? Biases do take time, and I think it's a journey. One doesn't need to change things overnight. And one needs to think of that as a journey rather than thinking about that I'm going to have a different work environment tomorrow, because these are ingrained set of biases. These are ingrained set of things that we were taught with or we grew up with. We must have the acceptability to the individual. Don't focus on just absolute numbers. I think we sometimes get to tend into I have a 50% this and I have 30% this. I think we tend to get into a lot of absolute numbers versus try to look at the numbers at every level, every individual, and at every organization unit for that matter. Be honest with yourself. You'll make mistakes in this journey. You might end up hurting somebody at the same time, but because you have this ingrained biases about diversity, inclusion, or equity for that matter, sometimes you'll make mistakes because it's a journey and you will find some hindrances in this process, let's be honest about it. Really promote the culture of mindfulness that we have and build on that mindfulness to take this journey to the next level. And at the end of the day, I think it's all about caring organization. We have to be caring. We have to be thinking about, are we treating individuals as individuals? Are we valuing their opinion? And we genuinely care about them. So for me, I think it is about doing the basics right, including the individuals as who they are, and then treat this as a journey.
So finally, Rajiv, what are your closing comments for our DEI initiatives at Happiest Minds?
Well, first and foremost, I think it's a good business. So I think that people with diverse set of viewpoints, different sets of creative ideas, brings its own set of creativity. And the more creative they are, the better off we're going to be as far as delivering solutions to our end customers. More creative we are, we'll have a better set of processes and work environment. So it's important for us to think about this as a good business sense. And which also helps by having diverse set of individuals, it starts challenging our status quo. We always used to think that this is how we do as an organization, versus having a diverse set of point of view will continue to challenge that why it makes sense today. The world is changing fast enough, both from technology disruption perspective, globalization perspective, business disruption perspective. And if we don't continue to challenge ourselves, we'll be probably obsolete. And so by having the creativity and challenging ourselves all the time, I think is important for us. It also helps us learn from each other. I think that what you bring as an individual versus what I bring to the table could be a different point of view. And every time there is interactions, there is communication, there is diversity of views, I think it brings his own set of different way of approaching the problem. And finally, I think it is, are we as an organization here to create a sense of belonging or not? And if we think that we are not, then we'll become obsolete. So I think it is about creating a sense of belonging to the organization. And that's what Happiest Minds is all about, is valuing and respecting the individuals, being mindful. And I think the D&I is a very, very important part of the journey. It is not the end goal of the journey. It is part of the journey. And let's work together to make this as a great inclusive organization.
Thank you so much, Rajiv, for sharing your thoughts on D&I initiatives. And it was a pleasure to have you. It was a very insightful session, and we'd love to have you back with us. Thank you, everyone. Please look out for the space for more videos from our leadership team.